When you think of a wrestler, you think of a big, strong, controlled anger type guy, aggression, carrying a large chip on his shoulder. Well, Desi Molina was all of that. You had to be successful at the collegiate level in wrestling. You have to be that to be successful at any level of wrestling. But then something funny happened in his life after he graduated from Case Western Reserve, met his wife, and started to have a family. Things that were constant in his life, like arm bars, double legs, half Nelsons, ankle picks, became replaced with lullabies, hugs, kisses, and holding hands, because he was blessed with 3 daughters, this big, hulking, outstanding wrestler of a man. The half that was Desi's go-to move, the power half, and if you're a wrestler, you know what a half Nelson is. It's the driving move that leads to the pin. His senior season, he had 15 pins in a row. He had more pins than 15, but he had 15 in a row. Could have been more, he couldn't remember, but it was at least 15. 12 of those 15 came from using that power half Nelson. I mentioned the chip in the intro to Desi, the chip on his shoulder. He said, you know, one of the things about me, Ron, to get me ready, he says, I always thought that somebody was disrespecting me. He said, I always convinced myself that the teammates were overlooking me. Not my teammates, but the opponent was overlooking me. And I said, you know somebody else who used to do that? And I said, you might remember his name. He said, who? I said, Michael Jordan. Jordan used to convince himself that Mark Price said he wasn't a good defender or didn't have a jump shot. So whatever it takes, that mental game was what Desi was willing to do. The battle, the one that he waged inside his own head, may have been his greatest strength here at Case Western Reserve. It certainly led to a great career. He's from Western Pennsylvania. So from Western Pennsylvania to Case Western Reserve, with almost a stop at Purdue. Purdue wanted him to wrestle, but they wanted him to spend too much time wrestling and not enough time studying engineering. So he came here to Case, and we're all better for it. Our newest member of the Spartan Club Hall of Fame, Desi Molina. Desi will be presented tonight by Chris Nader.
Yeah, I'm that big hulking wrestler you guys were all just hearing about. I know I don't fit the stature, but that's usually why I had that chip in my shoulder. They were talking about it. I would go there and look the way that I did, and I'm sure these other guys are probably thinking, that guy's not the one that I expect. So I would have a bit of chip in my shoulder and go as far as I could. I'd like to start by thanking Case Western and the Hall of Fame committee. I'd like to thank Chris for the nomination. I really appreciate it. I'll thank Bob Del Rosa. You know, Coach Del Rosa really played a significant role in my life and developed me as a better athlete as well as a better person. You know, he challenged me in so many ways to succeed, and really, you know, Coach really brought a lot of fun to the sport. I don't know if you guys, I recall one Christmas break, Chris probably remembers, where, you know, Coach challenged our entire team in racquetball. He actually said, every single one of you guys are going to play me in racquetball, do a game of 20, and you know, let's see if one of you guys can actually score a single point on me. We don't have to practice later. What we thought, okay, this is no problem. We'll play in racquetball. Someone's got to score a point. And what we didn't realize was Coach was actually a champion racquetball player. But as I do recall, we did. I was the one that actually did score, and I scored 1 point. So he beat every single one of us, 20-0, except for me, 20-1. I'd like to say thanks to all my teammates. You know, I think my experience here at Case Western, I wouldn't cherish it as much as I do if it wasn't for them. You know, I'm very fortunate to have met these people and consider them to be part of my family. I was mentioning Chris, every single time I get to speak with them, I get a big smile because it reminds me of our time back here at Case. So I would say that all of these individuals, you know, Chris and Travis and Zach and John are very, very special to me. I'd like to say thank you to my wife Rebecca, her parents Matt and Marlene, her brother and sister-in-law Michael and Kelly for all the support they've given me. You know, when you're on a wrestling mat, you're there by yourself, and it's a pretty lonely place, and it's a bit daunting, and it's, you know, it really helps a lot when you have people that are supporting you, and someone that's there in your corner. You know, I was very fortunate that my mother and father-in-law came to a lot of wrestling matches my senior year, and that was very much appreciated. Rebecca, you've given me 3 wonderful children, Sophia, Julia, and Anna. You know, they like, you know, myself and Rebecca play a lot of sports, and we're running around an awful lot, going to soccer and volleyball and swimming and so forth, and so it's a bit of a madhouse, and somehow Rebecca keeps it all together, a smile on her face, and gets us going in the right direction. She's also a graduate here of Case Western Reserve University. She played volleyball. As a matter of fact, when I was a senior and she was a junior, the fall season, we met at an athletic event. So, sounds similar to everybody else. Case has given me an awful lot. I have a degree and also met my wife and my family going forward here. It came from Case. To my siblings, Renee, my older brother, my younger brother Alex, and my sister Lisette, say thank you to them for all of them support. Very fond memories of my older brother and older sister screaming and yelling at the top of their lungs at my younger brother and I as we were wrestling. To Alex, we spent a lot of time on the wrestling mat together. I truly treasure those moments. It was really a lot of fun. To my mom and dad, thank you to them. We started wrestling in first grade in Pennsylvania. They would take us to and from matches all over the state of Pennsylvania, all over Ohio, and into New York. They drive us through snowstorms. They drive us through very poor weather, early in the morning, late at night, but they always did it, and it's very much appreciated. I work right now for Procter & Gamble. I don't know if you guys happen to see some of the support P&G is actually doing for the Olympics. And a couple Olympics ago, they came up with a mom campaign, and it was basically a commercial where they were showing moms taking their children to and from practices and being there and sitting there and then so forth and so on, all the way at the Olympics. And obviously not the Olympics part, but I can relate to that. That was my parents. They basically took us all over the place. They sat there during all the wrestling tournaments. They sat there during all the swim meets and soccer and football and so forth and so on. So for that, I thank you very much, and I really appreciate it. Lastly, I'd like to thank all the coaches and parents that have supported me in my experience in wrestling. Like Ken was mentioning, wrestling is an incredibly tough sport. It challenges you physically, mentally, and emotionally. And I think in the end, it really creates a lot of character for an individual who does it. Wrestling teaches you to have work with a fierce determination and take accountability and never give up. It really builds close bonds with your teammates. Because the challenge that the sport offers, there are very few that are willing to go ahead and take that on. I'll end with one more quote. This is for Danny, the head coach here. I actually keep this quote at my desk at work. As I see things, times get tough, it reminds me, what I've been through, and it's basically this: once you've wrestled, everything else in life is easy. Thank you very much.